All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to this meeting of the New Jersey Cannabis Regulatory Commission. The time is 11:04, and I call this meeting to order. Mr. Saeed, can you please read the notice of the public meeting?
Chairwoman, this is a regularly scheduled meeting of the New Jersey Cannabis Regulatory Commission's 2026 annual meeting schedule. Adequate notice of this meeting has been provided in accordance with the Senator Byron M. Baer Open Public Meetings Act. Notice of the meeting schedule was provided to the Asbury Park Press, Bergen Record, Courier Post, Star Ledger, and the Trenton Times on January 5th, 2026. The agenda and information regarding the virtual nature of the meeting and the ability to live stream was also posted on the CRC website. The meeting time and location has also been posted on the website of the New Jersey Cannabis Regulatory Commission and with the Office of the Secretary of the State.
Thank you. Can you please take roll call?
Commissioner Laufer, Commissioner Laufer, if you can just unmute yourself.
Seems like we're having some technical issues.
Try again. He just moved his head.
Did you call on me?
Yes, sir.
Oh, you're muted again.
Present.
Commissioner Mapp,
Present.
Vice Chair Nash,
Present.
Chairwoman Wainu.
Present.
We now have a quorum. The first order of business is the introduction of a new commissioner.
Thank you. So as folks have noticed, we now have a fourth commissioner who has joined us, Commissioner Harris Laufer. Welcome to the Board of Commissioners with the New Jersey Cannabis Regulatory Commission. Commissioner Laufer brings his experience with both state and local government to the board. So we're excited to have him. And Commissioner Laufer, I'll turn the floor over to you for any remarks.
Thank you, Chair. First off, I want to thank Governor and Senate President for nominating and advancing my nomination. But moreover, I look forward to making the cannabis industry in New Jersey better with the help of everybody on this board. I look forward to, bringing my years of local government experience to try and make the process better for our government partners, as well as working with every single one of the commissioners up here and the staff to make the industry work better. I want to thank Chair Wainu, Vice Chair Nash, Commissioner Mapp. You've all been incredibly welcoming. Executive Director Riggs, Chief Counsel, all of the staff have been tremendously accessible and knowledgeable, and I look forward to working with every single one of them to again make this industry work better and work for the people of New Jersey. And that's all I have. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Commissioner Laufer. Pleasure to have you, and we look forward to seeing all the great work that you can do with us to achieve our vision. With that, we'll move on to the next agenda item.
The next order of business is for the Commission to go into executive session to discuss legal matters and litigation and investigation updates. These are discussions that are not shared with the public. We believe the executive session should take about 1 hour.
Thank you. With that, I move that we enter into executive session. Is there a second?
A second.
Seconded by Commissioner Mapp. Is there any discussion on this motion? Hearing no discussion, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed say nay. Any abstentions? Motion passes. So as Mr. Saeed noted, we expect the executive session to last approximately 1 hour. So we will leave the live stream running during that time, and we can expect to resume the public session at, we'll say 12:15. Thank you, everyone. All right, welcome back. The time is 12:37, and we will resume the public portion of this meeting. Thank you for your patience, everyone. Mr. Saeed, can you please announce the next agenda item?
The next item up for consideration are the adult use cannabis business conversion license applications.
Thank you. Director Riggs, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Madam Chair. If we could go back a few slides there to give the numbers. I think we're going to handle conditional. There we go. So these are all the applications that are up before the board today for consideration, recommended from staff. 7 conditional annual conversion license, 11 annuals, and 20 annual renewal licenses. I think the first item that we will take up for vote is a conditional annual conversion, where there are 7 of these licenses. We have 1 cultivator, 1 manufacturer, and 5 retailers up for consideration today. All of these licenses have, on the screen, have followed the licensing review process by submitting their application through our licensing portal. They've given a priority assignment where the licensing team confirms that each application is assigned to the appropriate review level. We look at diversely owned business status, taxes, residency if required, and then cures are sent if needed. That priority is then verified by our licensing team to confirm that the appropriate documentation is submitted to support the priority identified by the applicant. After that process is complete, there's a completeness review to confirm that all the required documents are submitted. The application is deemed complete by licensing. We confirm that all the documents are not only submitted, but they're filled out appropriately and that all the required information has been submitted by the applicant. Cures are sent out if needed. At that point, the application is then scored. The documents are reviewed to ensure that the applicant has submitted the information to satisfy all the regulatory requirements and the notice of application acceptance. The application is then moved into our investigations team, where a qualification review is conducted. Individuals, financial sources, and any other agreements are reviewed for regulatory compliance. Background checks are conducted to ensure that the owners and any persons of interest are qualified to operate in the adult use cannabis space. And then a quality control process is initiated, where our licensing team, the Office of Compliance and Investigation, and our legal team review the application to ensure that it's ready for board presentation. And then we come to the last step, where we are now recommending that these applications be approved by the board today. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Director Riggs. Are there any questions from the board for Director Riggs? Hearing no questions from the board, is there a motion on this matter?
So moved.
Commissioner Laufer moves to approve the 7 conversion applications. Is there a second?
A second.
Seconded by Commissioner Mapp. Is there any discussion on this motion to approve the 7 conditional to annual conversion license applications? Hearing no discussion, Mr. Saeed, can you please call the vote?
Commissioner Laufer,
Yes.
Commissioner Mapp,
Yes.
Vice Chair Nash,
Yes.
Chairwoman Wainu.
Yes.
The motion passes. The next item up for consideration are the adult use cannabis business annual license applications.
Director Riggs, floor is yours.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Next slide, please. We have 11 annual licenses up for consideration before the board today. There's 4 cultivators, 1 manufacturer, 5 retailers, and then we have 1 testing laboratory. The same licensing process that I just articulated for the conversions was followed, where priority assignment was given. That priority assignment was then verified. Completeness review was conducted by our licensing team. The applications were all scored. There was a qualification review with background checks and the like conducted. Quality control process was conducted, and now we are recommending that these applications be approved by the board today. Thank you.
Thank you, Director Riggs. Are there any questions from the board for Director Riggs regarding the annual license application? Hearing no questions from the board, is there a motion on this matter?
Madam Chair.
We accept. Go ahead, Krista.
Thank you. Madam Chair, I move to approve the annual license applications presented here today.
Is there a second?
A second.
Seconded by Commissioner Mapp. Any discussion on this motion? I just want to note, I'm supportive of this motion. I would just ask Chief Counsel with respect to application number 9534, specifically to just ensure that the commercial reasonableness requirements are spelled out in the final agency decision that's issued to the business, and that our legal team confirm that all transactional documents comply with those requirements ahead of any license being issued to the business. But I am supportive of the motion. Any further discussion on this motion? Hearing no further discussion, Mr. Saeed, can you please call the vote?
Commissioner Laufer,
Yes.
Commissioner Mapp,
Yes.
Vice Chair Nash,
Yes.
Chairwoman Wainu.
Yes.
The motion passes. The next item up for consideration on the agenda are the adult use cannabis business annual license renewal applications.
Thank you. Director Riggs, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Madam Chair. If we go to the next slide, please. This first tranche of annual license renewal applications, there's 16 of them listed on the screen here. These have all followed our licensing process. The licenses in adult use cannabis are effective for 1 year from the date of issuance and are required to be reviewed annually. All these individuals and entities have submitted into the portal and provided the required documentation for renewal. That documentation has been reviewed and approved by the Office of Compliance and Investigation, and therefore it is recommended that we renew these applications, the 16 of them presented before you.
On that one human.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Director Riggs. Are there any questions from the board for Director Riggs regarding these renewal applications?
Good work by staff.
Any further questions or comments? Hearing none, is there a motion on this matter as it pertains to the 16 renewal applications presented?
Madam Chair,
So,
that we accept the applications as presented today by Director Riggs.
Commissioner Mapp moves to approve the renewal applications as presented. Is there a
second.
Seconded by Commissioner Laufer. Is there any discussion on this motion? Hearing no discussion, Mr. Saeed, can you please call the vote?
Commissioner Laufer,
Yes.
Commissioner Mapp,
Yes.
Vice Chair Nash,
Yes.
Chairwoman Wainu.
Yes.
The motion passes. The next item we have on the agenda is the consideration of an annual renewal application for La Vida Gardens Dispensary LLC. Chairwoman Wainu has recused herself from this annual renewal application for La Vida Gardens Dispensary LLC due to an ongoing personal relationship. On account of her recusal, she will step out of the room while the board considers this particular application. Afterward, Chair Wainu will come back in and will take up the next order of business.
Thank you, Mr. Saeed. Director Riggs, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Vice Chair Nash. Same process for this renewal. The license was effective for 1 year. They've submitted all the required documentation. OCI is satisfied with what they've submitted, and therefore staff's recommending that this application be renewed for another year. Thank you.
Thank you, Director Riggs. Are there any questions from the board? All right, I'll go ahead and make the motion. I move to approve the annual renewal application of La Vida Gardens. Is there a second?
I second.
Commissioner Mapp seconds. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing no discussion, Mr. Saeed, can you please call the vote?
Commissioner Laufer,
Yes.
Commissioner Mapp,
Yes.
Vice Chair Nash,
Yes.
and Chairwoman Wainu is recused. The motion passes.
Thank you.
I'm just waiting for
Yes.
Chair.
be with us in a moment.
Chair Wainu, the floor is yours.
Thank you. We can move on to the next agenda item. So here we have two annual license renewal applications that were previously deemed incomplete. They are now complete. However, the board has not yet had an opportunity to fully review the now complete applications. And so I am recommending to the board that we administratively extend the licenses for these two businesses for 30 days, at which time the commission can make a final determination on, or by which time the commission can make a final determination on the license renewal applications on their merits. So that is for legal distribution, application number 47892, and Nile of NJ-CRC, application number 50037. That is my recommendation to the board. Are there any questions from the board regarding this recommendation? Hearing no questions, is there a motion on this matter?
Moved.
Vice Chair Nash moves to extend the licenses for these two businesses by 30 days, by which time the commission can make a final determination on the license renewal applications. Is there, seconded by Commissioner Mapp? Thank you. Any discussion on this motion? Hearing no discussion, Mr. Saeed, can you please call the vote?
Commissioner Laufer,
I just realized I was muted. Yes.
Commissioner Mapp,
Yes.
Vice Chair Nash,
Yes.
Chairwoman Wainu.
Yes.
The motion passes. Next slide, please.
The next item on the agenda is the consideration of an additional annual license renewal application, Chairwoman.
Thank you. Director Riggs, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Mad Hatter Dispensary LLC submitted its annual license renewal application. However, when submitting their application and during the review, it was determined that they did not provide the appropriate attestation to determine for license renewal, the adopted attestation by our permitting and licensing committee. They did not provide that. They were issued a cure. Also in that cure, they did not provide a social equity report, and they do not and no longer have municipal approval in the locality where they operate. Therefore, it is staff's recommendation that Mad Hatter Dispensary cannot meet the regulatory criteria for renewal, and the application should be denied at this time. Thank you.
Thank you, Director Riggs. Are there any questions from the board regarding this renewal application? Hearing no questions, is there a motion on this matter?
Madam Chair, I move to approve the motion for denial of Mad Hatter Dispensary's adult use license renewal.
Vice Chair Nash moves to deny the renewal application. Is there a second on this motion to deny the renewal application?
Madam Chair, I second.
Seconded by Commissioner Mapp. Is there any discussion on this motion to deny the renewal application? Hearing no discussion, Mr. Said, can you please call the vote?
Commissioner Laufer,
Yes.
Commissioner Mapp,
Yes.
Vice Chair Nash,
Yes, for the reasons articulated by the executive director. My vote is yes.
Chairwoman Wainu.
Yes.
The motion passes. The next item on the agenda is the open public comment period.
Thank you. As we open the floor to public comments, I want to remind our viewers that they can submit written comments to the commission during or after this meeting by going to our website, nj.gov/cannabis/meetings. The deadline for submitting written comments for today's board meeting is 5:00 p.m. tomorrow, Wednesday, January 14th. Written comments will be shared with the commission members and they will be made public. Our speakers will be limited to 3 minutes. Mr. Said will call out the names of our registered speakers. When it is your turn to speak, Mr. Said will ask you to turn on your microphone. If you are dialing in by phone, you will need to press *9 to raise your hand when you hear your name called, and then *6 when asked to unmute yourself. To make sure that the meeting minutes are accurate, please state your name before delivering your comments. Thank you. Mr. Said, please call in our first speakers.
Thank you, Chairwoman. As a reminder, public speakers during this afternoon's public comment period will be limited to 3 minutes. Please be respectful and concise during your comments. I will also give a 30-second notice just so that you can wrap up. Just bear with me. The first speaker that we have registered is Donald Campbell. If you're in the room, please raise your hand. Donald Campbell. Last 4 of the telephone number is 9605. Donald Campbell. Okay, I don't see that person. The next person on the list is Thomas Norcia. If you're in the room, please raise your hand. Thomas Norcia. Last 4 of the telephone number is 2406. I don't see that person. The next person is Erin Gore. If you're in the room, please raise your hand. Erin Gore. And the last 4 of the telephone number is 5483. If you're in the room, please raise your hand. The next person on the list is Michael Brennan. If you're in the room, please raise your hand. Last 4 of the telephone number is 5226. Michael Brennan. I don't see that person. The next person on the list is Ramon Azcuidiaz. I see you, Ramon. Give me 1 second. Ramon, you have the floor.
Hello. Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Awesome. Just want to thank you for your time today. I actually missed the sign up to speak for the CEIF tax. So I think I'm just going to use the time today to thank the board first for keeping the tax low after the last meeting. As we hope to get more data and information on how that revenue is brought in, how the profit is made. I thank you for not jumping to drastic measures and raising it to $30. With that being said, I am in support of a less drastic increase in the tax amount. If there was a plan made and like if we figured out how to calculate what would be best to invest into back to the people and of the state, and specifically those affected as the CEIF tax is meant to do, that would be awesome. With that being said, if we could have more focus on previous convictions or at least some outreach towards previous convictions. I know in some of the data in the last meeting, there was there were numbers about the license distributions where I had seen one category about previous convictions that seem to be lagging. I didn't know if maybe there was just less license applications by previously convicted persons. And if we can get more outreach, maybe we can get people who are interested in being able to join the business. As far as the C taxes, with the remainder of the time, I'd just like to request if the commission can look into their power to maybe require municipalities to allow cannabis businesses in their township, or require them to allow cannabis businesses for people who were unfairly, maybe unjustly policed around previous cannabis laws within their borders and within their towns, because you do have rich areas that financially strip their citizens and they don't face any consequences for the targeted policing within their borders. We do have a history and research showing that in some areas, police did, target use the scent of marijuana or to strip its citizens financially and receive more payments. So that's all for today. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ramon. The next person on the list is Andrea Rabel. If you're in the room, please raise your hand. Okay, I see you, Andrea.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Hi, my name is Andrea Rabel. I would like to start by saying Happy New Year and welcome to Commissioner Lawfer. As we witness the ongoing evolution of the Commission, I'd like to actually reflect on where it began. Cannabis was originally made available to the sickest patients with no hope of survival. This was essentially a hospice program. This industry is about medicine and about mercy at its core. Today, the adult use industry is flourishing, and that growth required a lot of hard work and is certainly something to be proud of. But as you take your journey as commissioners, I urge you to remember you are running a medical program and a hospice program at its core. You register our doctors, oversee the manufacturing of our medicine, and control the only pharmacies we are allowed to use. It can be so easy to get caught up in the rapid pace of the adult use expansion that it's easy to overlook the most vulnerable groups who rely on you. While the industry has lawyers and assistants and resources to make their priorities loud and clear, the patients don't. The patients are at chemo appointments and hospital beds and having seizures on their living room floors. The patients are fighting for their lives, and when you're fighting for breath, you simply can't speak loud enough to compete with the noise of $2 billion. But as commissioners, it's your responsibility to hear us and to be our voice. We need affordable and reliable access to clean, accurately labeled medicine. I understand some key issues like legalizing home cultivation fall on the legislators, not on the CRC, but I ask you explore improvements that can be made internally. Lowering the testing batch size, labeling solvents on packaging, creating a public database of COAs are a few examples, but the list could go on. The ongoing investigation regarding potency inflation and microbial testing is an important start. We need accountability at the lab level to minimize risks to consumers, workers, and other license holders. We need a team of leaders at the helm who are not scared to do what is right to keep this industry on track and to protect patients, even if it means traveling in uncharted territory. There are lots of different places to be a businessman, a lawyer, or a public servant, but as cannabis commissioners, you are uniquely positioned to have a direct impact on healthcare now and for the future. Other states look to New Jersey cannabis program and we're approaching a tipping point in federal scheduling. So I can't help but wonder, is this the year when the New Jersey medical program fizzles out? Or is this the year when we actually innovate and set a new standard for medical cannabis?
30 seconds.
I ask you to reflect, what do you want your impact to be? What do you want your legacy to be? I think New Jersey has the potential to be great. A few things just slipped through the cracks. I would want to applaud Commissioners Wainu, Nash, and Mapp for managing a 3-person commission for so long with grace and resilience, and I look forward to what can be accomplished now with Commissioner Lawfer on the team. Thank you.
Thank you, Andrea. I'm going to go over the list again for those that didn't speak. Donald Campbell. Last four of the telephone number is 9605. Donald Campbell. Thomas Norcia. Last four of the telephone number is 2406. Aaron Gore. Last four of the telephone number is 5483. Michael Brennan. Last four of the telephone number is 5226. I don't see those people. Chairwoman Wainu, this will conclude the registered speakers we have for today's public meeting.
Thank you, Mr. Saeed, and thank you to those who spoke today to share their thoughts, their experiences, and their suggestions for the commission. With that, this concludes the business that we have before us today, and I move that we adjourn. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Laufer. Is there any discussion on this motion to adjourn? Hearing no discussion, all those in favor say aye.
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 All those opposed say nay. Any abstentions? Motion passes. The time is 1:03 and we are adjourned. Thank you, everyone, and we will see you at the next board meeting. Take care.